Good morning, all participants from NextRise 2021. My name is Luan from Innoway of China. So we are the startup street in China, as the virtual picture shows behind. Basically, we are helping the early stage company rising up from the beginning, and that's actually our goal. We have probably presentation today, rest of 15 minutes, talk about what we probably could do for helping the Korean startups company landing in China, make the whole progress most smoothly. And before that, I probably will introduce about Innoway a little bit and what we do, what we have been doing. Let's actually showing up one of the slides. So Innoway, which is the startup street in China, we have in early stage companies. And it is sometimes people call we are the Chinese version of Silicon Valley. But we do think we can do something different. So we help the 45 about incubators or accelerators in one area, helping them grow, helping them scale up. And we are 100% government-owned platform for helping the startups company since 2015. That's the year that we officially launched. So this is a little bit milestone about us, what we've been doing. 2015, the Prime Minister, Mr. Li Keqiang, been visit us. That's actually the first time that high-level government officer visiting a startup street and showing that how important innovation become new wave of China. For the time being that we continue to develop our business in the field of innovations, helping startups company, and also since 2017, we're starting helping the corporate company still doing the innovation in the field. That's some of the key partners what we have in our platform. Of course, you can see some of the key partners from Korea, and that's not even including Kita, also one of the major partners in Korea in the field of innovation. For those years, we've been served 3,400-ish startups companies, and also help roughly 1/3 of them to get fundraise from this area. And also we help the industry leaders from Intel, Daimler, etc. And most of them become our service customer that we cover the cost. Also, they will be our pay customers. Of course, they are in most of them in the different field. Our job is helping them grow based on their demand. 2017 June 7th, 18 of the Global 500 Fortune CEO visited us, including a global CEO of Cotton, Volkswagen, Daimler, Schneider, Standard Chartered, etc. Many of them haven't actually visited Innoway or Zhongguancun area, which is the area raising up 40% of unicorns in China. Why they come over, it is also because mostly they see what's going to be the challenge and also what's going to be the potential from China area. How we can help those companies to scale up the business, how we can link those corporate companies to the startups company, become a majority topic from the day. And for the Korean startups company, for instance, come to China, we do have a program which is called First Local Partner Program, helping company, for instance, from Korea, how they can pick up the market, scale up the business, and finally to be successful in China market. Because we do believe China market is always open to the gate, and to the global that everybody could join to earn certain piece of the market. What is the first local partner program? At Innoway, we know all the entrepreneurs in the main resource innovation, especially share their futures. That is why development of the first local partner program become a priority. Why China market? Because there's actually showing up the opportunities, capital investment, supply chain, they're all located in China. Most of the cases why people not really successful, it is because they didn't find a reliable and suitable local partner. What we are doing for the person that's typical first local partner is helping the company settle down in China, company registration, and then apply the IP protections, and also we help them to deliver the sales based on the local teams. To building up the core team members in China will become also very important. Finding local stakeholders to help the company portfolios, the different business stakeholders, and also including the customers, sales, etc. Finally, of course, we also help the company that's finalizing their product. That means the recent capital also from China might be potentially got M&A of someone. As a platform, what we do is providing all the resources to the person that the person could definitely survive after certain years. That means we provide all the channels such as local government, media, investors, large corporate company resources to the specific person. Industrial resources will be also provided, including the fundraising. And of course, we also have the feedback system between us and also the customer. That means the company from overseas. For instance, if there's the local partner which is not suitable, then we will switch the partner. So majorly we will identify the first phase or the stage one will be the priority that we focus. The company has shown up very good knowledge, understanding what's actually the role between China and also other countries. And then identify the needs from international company become also the first phase. The workshop, 2-3 days, and finalize no matter in China or targeted country. And also company will be also willing to develop their foreign market. One-to-one talk. And also for the second phase that we were during the 1 or 2 weeks between China, also targeted countries, will be narrowed down to specific what's actually the demand, and making sure they understand what's actually following up. For the stage 3 will be the time to matchmaking the international company from, for instance, from Korea and to China related partners, and to do matchmaking, understand both sides' needs and demands. So the initial development of the stage 1 will be serve fee and then including all the options, and going to be the second term will be based on the necessary demands from the company. After 6 months, the company's support has to survive based on the certain sales channels, including the PR's investment. So Innoway can charge, and of course, including the commissions of the company as necessary time. That's also the focus as the investment side, and as Innoway, we do have the investment on the side that could be actually available for the company who has necessary fundraising requirement. And that's come of successful cases. For instance, one of the company from Italy, they've been also invested by Y Combinator of United States. And we help this company scale up, including matchmaking to different players. And there's more successful cases from different countries. That's from UK, Spain, of course Korea, and also Australia, etc. What do we do? Sometimes we will sending those companies to necessary industries related. For instance, Hitachi for the elevators and the smart machines. Mars will be related mostly for new retailing, Airbus for the automatic driving, Skoda as well. Innoway as the docking services were also including helping the startups company develop the China by connecting the related stakeholders such as investors and the partners. So we do the docking services between marketing, analyzing the long list for the potential customers, and also we could provide the short list as well. For the first month, we'll focus mostly to make the orientations, understand what's the needs from overseas companies. And finally, we'll pick up the company to go through 3 to 6 months, making sure they're following up all the demands. Innoway, it's promising to setting up the special project which is leading of each industries. So we're making sure the project which is follow the mentoring services, consulting for project management and project execution, and of course extra support as necessary. And there's also some successful cases which is linked up between the corporate companies to the startups company. What we could do is a self-owned project pool that will provide all the startups company to link into the potential companies. And in a way, 46 entrepreneur services agent, which is could be called incubator or accelerator, will definitely help. Of course, media metrics will be the time for the company who has this, the media press, necessary requirement. Of course, local government will be necessary for especially the startups company raising up from, for instance, from China. That means you got a certain legal way to understand how to operate in their business, including the subsidy or grants. And also we have the startup committee that helping the company to matchmaking and to build up their, the friendship, ecosystem. And so for soft landing program, what we provide is that the company to understand, the China related issues, making sure they're following up, certain requirements. And there's the highlight of the soft landing program is actually step by step to progressing the clear objective at each stage, assistant in the requirement of screening of the project. And of course, business, combining with the mutual and also culture trip. Scale up of the result based on the driving and making the events to providing all the content to the certain company. We do have the closed door training program and visiting the Chinese firm that all the necessary company could link it out. And also including the roadshow in China and then connecting the key customer, key clients. There's also certain cases that we've been helped for Korea. As you can see, all the Korean company, they've been actually participated, the program from the lens first and also second. And then Screening, of course, it will be actually become a priority. That means showing up the company fully understand what they do, what they're going to do in China. There's certain cases which is, for instance, we bring them to visiting JD.com, DD, Tencent, even including the Forbidden City and also Summer Palace for the culture gap filling. There's more cases which is people come over to link up with the certain potential companies. And then of course we do have the long-term program. For instance, we worked together with Keith for a couple of years, and that's total six Korean startups companies based on the seven topic classes and visiting 5 potential partner incubators on 23 times media coverage. That's our international partners in different countries. And of course, you can see KDAX here, not only, but also rest of the partners in different countries. We do have a country-to-country innovation center, for instance, China Italian Makerspace, Zhongguancun Paris Region Industrialization Innovation Center, and also Chile Tech Hub in China. The global VP of BMW, Mayor of Helsinki, Deputy Prime Minister of Slovakia, they all visit us, and we're showing up how it's actually the goals and what we could do for that. There's some certain events definitely we can also bring them to the international table. We do have the training program for the certain companies. They need actually the local training program. There's actually the corporate company innovation center being set up, for instance, Innoway, Intel, and also Baidu Innovation Centers. That's some of the facilities. I'm just not really spending too much time of this one, but showing that how's the environmental that we can provide. That's our team. I'm actually the person in charge of the program. 90% of them has overseas experience, and we do have this one working in the field. Many of them serving many of the certain countries. On the top left corner here, you can see my contact information. I'm the person in charge of the international department of China, of Innoway. My email address and also phone number. At the same time that you can probably find me from LinkedIn as well. Thank you so much. And I'm also willing to see all of you more in China. We can actually having something to do from China. And finally, I wish NextRise 2021 has a very successful event going to happen in the next couple of days. Willing to see you all probably in Korea or in China in near future. Thank you so much.